Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, I'm going to be reviewing a rather obscure sci-fi movie because, well, I've always liked talking about old stuff, and I've reviewed quite a few obscure films anyway from the past. So there's like a journey back through time, so to speak. Again. So the one I'm going to be reviewing is the one titled Silver Needle in the Sky. Despite the fact that it was originally a TV series, folks, it was later connected as a movie series in a collection like this, folks. And just for your information, I don't have this box set. I was just throwing that out there if you do come across this. Even though it takes place in outer space, but whatever, I guess. So anyway, this was originally a part of a TV series, so they got a few episodes and they just stitched them together to make it look a full-length film. With this group of characters in this film, I've already reviewed a few movies, several movies that they're already in. So I figured this group of characters are again in this movie I'm about to review, and so I just figured I'll just do it again. And yeah, with this series of movies, it's kind of out of order. I'm sorry about that because that's the thing, folks. I just review them whenever, however, I get the chance to watch these films. So that's why these films, when I review these movies, they're a bit out of order because of that. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I did review some other films already, but anyway, with that being said, let's just get into it, shall we? As always, let's start with the plot. Yes, sirree. Rocket Jones and his pals are up to a task once again because the story centers around when the intergalactic trouble erupts for Rocket Jones and his space cadets as they find themselves on board on a spaceship full of these particular individuals that's heading into some sort of conference. And of course, as you can guess, folks, some wild adventures afoot, of course. And that's basically the premise of this thing, folks, so that's what you get, I guess you can say. So basically the entire film is short, sweet, and to the point, which doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, of course. So anyway, of course you can say that this is definitely something I guess you can watch if you're one of those people that's into this vintage style of sci-fi movies, I guess. You know, it's not something to complain about, I guess you can say. It's pretty amusing in its own little way, I suppose, folks. I can't really complain too much, really. So I can say overall that this is a special treatment in some ways. He has his own little thing going on, and yeah, it may not be for everybody, I guess you can say, but I guess it's something I could enjoy, I suppose. And don't expect something to be like, you know, something super fast-paced, which obviously this isn't exactly something that's intended for that, of course. And this is definitely one of those things you can just sit back and relax. It's in a lot of ways pretty harmless. And yeah, it's not my cup of tea, really. It's kind of this kinds of sci-fi movies that's more family-oriented. But again, it's not bad. I didn't think it was terrible. You know, I've seen a lot worse than this. So, for what it's worth, at the end of the day, I say check it out, folks. It's one of those films you could just, you know, enjoy. It's a good time waster, I guess. I guess the best way I can describe this, it's a good time waster. It's harmless. You can't really get offended, really, at all. So, I can say that this is something I can't probably watch from time to time. You have nothing else to watch, I guess. And I can say that this is something that is pretty enjoyable for what it is, I guess. It is what it is, I guess you can say. Yes, sir. There's multiple different versions of this film that's been released over years, so be careful of which version you got. The version I got isn't really in good quality, really, folks. So a lot of the images do look grainy, so I couldn't really enjoy the film all the way like I should have. So anyway, I did enjoy this for what it's worth, I guess you can say. And you can actually buy the more updated versions of these movies, I guess. You can find them, I guess you can say. But at the end of the day, it's pretty worth it, I guess. I didn't hate it. It didn't piss me off like some movies tend to do nowadays. So I say, yeah, let's give it a shot once at least. So this one wasn't too shabby, I suppose, folks. And I mean, yes, this was cheaply made, like some of the other films of. Okay, like a lot of the films I've reviewed on my channel, it's a really low budget kind of a thing. But in some ways, I kind of felt that kind of gives it its own charm in some ways. And but I personally liked it. I mean, it may not be the most violent thing I've ever seen. It's more of a like a family affair kind of a movie where the entire family can just watch this. And let's just say Blondie over here doesn't look too bad in her cape and outfit. So yeah, this gave me the old school vintage Supergirl style towards it. I know that's not what they were aiming for, but it just got that vibe anyway. So yeah, folks, it didn't piss me off. I didn't get mad at it. So there's that. But that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, really, folks. Even though I tend to like movies a bit more darker than this. But anyway, nevertheless, I didn't think it was that bad, really. I honestly enjoyed it. I pretty much knew what I was going to expect when I stopped watching this. So it's whatever, I guess. It's quite an enjoyable little treat, I guess. A blast from the past, like I said earlier, folks. So anyway, it'll get an overall rating of a 6.1 out of 10. It's a 6.1 out of 10 for me. And of course, as always, thanks for watching. Take care. See ya. Oh yeah.